Bruce Frank Field. This is Jim Thompson along with Don Dickinson to bring you tonight's ball game between the Central Raiders, Norwood Young America as we used to call them, and the LeSueur Henderson Giants. And for the first time this year, we're at home, and for the first time this year, we've got a dry field. And to talk about some of the things that may get involved in this ball game, I'd like to welcome Don Dickinson.
Thank you, Jim. First of all, as you mentioned, this is the first game at home for the LeSueur Henderson Giants. Part of that being because the first game scheduled against St. Peter had to be moved to St. Peter because they were working on a field on the sprinkling system. So really the first time the Giants have had a home field advantage. This could be a pivotal game for Norwood more than the Giants, I would guess. Giants obviously need every victory, but on the other hand, it looks on paper at least to be a game the Giants can and hopefully will win. Got to remember the Giants will have got some injuries, and first of all out for this game and possibly for more games will be the big guy, Kyle Dudica, a leading ground gainer last year. I don't know if he was leading ground gainer and second leading ground gainer last year, but he was right up there. And one of the defensive linemen last year, Kyle, out with first a hand injury, and then he came up, Jim, with a leg injury, quite a bit similar to, I'm trying to think of the pro, but one of the pros has. No, not Millard. We'll think of it. It's one of the quarterbacks that's out. Well, anyway, I'll think of it later. But then also we want to mention that Sean Severson is out with a broken wrist, and that might even be more important because as good as Kyle Dudica is, they have somebody to back him up. But right now, Sean Severson, I'm not sure they've got anybody experienced in that position. They're going to have to go with Dallas Guthrie and Eric Anderson at the corners, and then we'll see who they give help. Right now you're giving me the offensive lineup, which doesn't mean too much, Jim, but on defense they're going to have to replace him with Mitch Muehlhausen, who did start out the season playing that defensive corner position. Then he switched to end, and Severson switched from offense to defense. So what they liked about Severson was his hitting ability, and hopefully Muehlhausen, the junior, will come through in that capacity. Let's run through that starting defensive team for the Giants. At one end position will be number 45, the senior Matt Peterson, and Mark Lasky, 84 at end. The two tackles will be Dan O'Connell and Josh Kincaid. The nose guard will be Nate Zumak. Linebackers will be Don Winters and Corey Steuben. The corners will be Dallas Guthrie and Mitch Muehlhausen, both juniors. The safeties will be Eric Anderson and Ben Lindgard. We're running right now through the Norwood Central Young America's lineup, and let's run through those for you. First of all, starting at a tackle, number 61, John Schmidt. And number 74, Bruce Tillers at the guard position. 66, Mike Schrupp and John Schmidt, number 61. The tight end is number 44, Gerald Carlson. And the flanker, number 30, Aaron Thiesfeld. Number 9, the split end, Al Steinhagen. The quarter, Penn Coles. The halfback would be number 45, Dan Storms. That
running back is number 22, Brian Hagerty.
Means that number 22, Brian Hengrens, according to what you have, is starting halfback.
For the LeSueur Henderson Giants.
Starting for the Giants on offense, we went through that defensive startup. At 53 will be the co-captain, Nate Miller. He's a senior.
Guards, number 70, co-captain Josh Kincaid.
At the right guard position will be a senior, number 70, Josh Kincaid. At the other guard position, the veteran, number 76, a junior, Dan O'Connell. At the tackle position, number 65, Mark Chevalier. And at the other tackle position, number 66, John Kukowski. At the tight end position will be a senior, number 45, Matt Peterson. The flanker will be number 20, Mitch Muehlhausen.
Number 44, Dallas Guthrie.
Halfback will be number 44, Dallas Guthrie. Quarterback will be number 13. He's a sophomore, Danny Barrett. And the running back, number 43, Eric Anderson, a junior. And the big guy at fullback, number 30, a senior, Don Winters. Might mention the punter is Corey Steuben. And I believe Eric Anderson has been handling the kickoff duties, and we're going to assume that he's going to be doing that again. Of course, the Giants started out with a loss to St. Peter and then came on strong with a big victory over Lee Center at Lee Center, and then in terrible conditions last year, they ran right over Montgomery. Although there were times when it was hard to move the ball because of the rain, the Giants did a good job moving the ball, and defensively they played a solid game. Norwood traditionally has got some good athletes, Jim, so I just don't know what we can expect here. It looks by their lineup they might have gone to a passing attack.
Well, I had a chance to talk to the coach previous to the introduction of the players out here, and he was complaining because some of his ball players had gotten hurt. Evidently, he lost his fullback as the Giants did theirs, and both coaches were kind of telling them their little stories of woe as far as injuries that they've had. But as Coach Turek mentioned, they've lost a player a week as far as a fairly serious injury is concerned. It will be Norwood, Young America, the Raiders, and we'll attempt to refer to them as that from now on. Kicking off to the Giants of LeSueur Henderson. Back deep for the Giants is number 20, Mitch Muehlhausen. He's in the middle. 44 is Guthrie. He's at the near side. And 5 on the far side is Ben Lingard. And the kick comes down to Muehlhausen. Drops the ball, picks it up on the 15. Gets through a nice hole and gets out to the 30-yard line where he's brought down. So the Giants will take over there, 1st and 10.
Tackle by Schneider.
We talked to Coach Turek about this during the Giant preview show the other night. And one of the things that we kind of speculated on is how the Giants would look on a dry field. And here they come out in the full house wishbone backfield to give right up the middle to Anderson. Anderson is across the 30 to about the 34-yard line. Now they mark it back to about the 33.
Well, Jim, we mentioned for Central it would be an important game. They start out with 2 losses, having lost 0-6 to Jordan and 7-12 to Belle Plaine. So this is a must game for them to get back in the race.
This time they set the man in the slot to the far side. 2 backs in. Barrett calling signal, slides down the line, gives to Winter, spins across the 35 to about the 36 or 7-yard line.
Schneider and Carlson on the stop.
Gain of about 5 yards on the play. Bring up 3rd and 2. Again, same set formation. Now in motion comes Guthrie to the near side. Long count, and the give is right up the middle to Anderson, and Anderson is across the 40 to about the 44-yard line, and he'll have 1st and 10 for Giants.
First down.
Well, Jim, got to give that line credit again. Mentioned last week that Mark Chevalier, first year out, and John Konkoski, a senior first year out, really doing the job at those tackle position. Of course, we haven't said enough about Dan O'Connell and Josh Kincaid, the guards, and part of that because they're veterans, but they've really been doing the job this year also.
Again, Guthrie comes in motion to the near side. And the give down the line is to Anderson, and Anderson fumbled the ball, it's picked up by the Raiders. So first turnover of the night, and it goes against the Giants. And Central will take over in excellent field position.
Well, Jim, we understand from our scouting report that number 10, the quarterback, Pat Coles, is a great athlete with some quickness. So we're going to see if the Giants are able to adapt. It looked like he had a passing game in the warm-ups.
Coles at quarterback. Direct snap back. Plenty of time. Gets a pass off. It is completed to number 44, and he's hit and knocked out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. The Carlson was the receiver.
An interesting play, Jim. I don't know if you saw it. I'd like to see it in replay. It looked definitely like the basketball pick play, which is an illegal offense. It's offensive interference. They've been calling it in the college games. That time the referees did not call it, but it works to the Central's advantages. They come out smoking after the fumble recovery, now knocking at the door at the Giant 15-yard line.
Almost a shot. It is a shotgun. The pass comes right back. Cole, a handoff up inside to Holgrens, and Holgrens is across the 10-yard line. See where they spot it. Spotted at about the 7-yard line.
Guthrie, Anderson in on the stop.
Gain of 6 yards on the play. 2nd and 4.
2nd and 3 from the 8.
This time Coles goes under center. Takes the snap, gives to the first man through. He's hit and knocked down before he gets to the 5-yard line. And I believe he's got to get to the 5-yard line to make the first down.
Anderson, Guthrie in on the stop.
And they mark it short. So it will be third down and 1 yard line. It's third down and 1 yard to go from the 6. Giants need a big defensive surge here. Again, Coles gets under center. Fakes, comes out on his right. He's being chased way back. They got a shot at him and they knock him out of bounds as he gets across the 5-yard line. Good speed by Coles that time, as it looked like he was going to be thrown for a loss, and he was able to outrun everybody.
Well, Matt Peterson was in pursuit and just didn't have the speed or the quickness to catch him as he went around the left end. Got himself a first down. They're going to have first and goal right now on the 1-yard line, Jim.
And the officials are going to take a timeout for a little equipment repair, I think, as possibly something was wrong with one of the players. 8:16 remain here in the first quarter, and Norwood has it first and goal from the 3. Coles under center from the I formation. Coles will sneak it in himself, and he's across the end zone for the touchdown.
Well, Jim, thanks to that big pass play to start the drive, and some good running plays by Central, formerly Norwood Young America, they've gone in for the touchdown, and at this point they're going to line up for the extra point. With 8:12 here to go in the first quarter, Central is going to go for the 1-point conversion, apparently.
Olsen to attempt the conversion.
Number 41, Olsen, will attempt a conversion. There's the kick. It looks good from here. We'll wait for the signal. It's good. So Central jumps off to a 7-0 lead over the Giants with 8:12. Now, Jim, this is the first time in a long time Giants have been scored, I believe, in the first period. I'm not sure Lee Center scored on them or not, but I don't think so. I know for sure Montgomery didn't, and I know for sure St. Peter didn't, because they went into that game tied at half, 0-0. So it's going to be interesting just what happens here, because apparently the Giants have had a little bit of letdown. They were moving the ball, obviously, before they fumble, but that's part of the game, is hold on to the ball.
Well, it would appear that they got caught a little flat-footed, and of course that nice pass completion from Coles to Carlson really set things up for him, and coming out of the shotgun, I think, may have surprised the Giants a little bit.
Well, Jim, it'd be interesting, like I said, to see that play. It looked definitely like a pick play to me, and we'll have to wait and see during the week just what the coaches have to say about it.
Okay, we're all set once again. The Giants are going to get it back. They trail now 7-0. Coles kicks off. Short to Muehlhausen, takes it at the 20, to the 30, heads for the sidelines, and he's going to be pushed out of bounds at about the 37, 38-yard line where they mark it. First and 10 Giants.
Well, Jim, first thing I'm noticing right now is lack of speed on the Giants' special teams. We're used to seeing some speed on the kickoff team, and I don't think the Giants have that this year, so it might be more wise for them to head right up the middle of the field and get what they can get.
Muehlhausen splits out wide to the near side. Barrett again calling signals. Starts down the line, takes it up himself, cuts back, is ahead for about 14 yards, 15 yards. He'll have more than enough for the first down.
Well, Jim, that either was a quarterback draw, which we think it was, because they do have that in the playbook, or else he missed the handoff. In any event, it was a big play for the Giants. Danny Barron tucked it away. Good speed. I might guess that he might have as much speed as anybody out there, Jim, except possibly Dallas Guthrie.
I think Anderson is supposed to be pretty quick, too, from that backfield. But you're right. It definitely was a planned play. Quarterback keeper all the way on that. And Barrett this time will give to Winters, I believe it is.
Guthrie, the ball carrier.
Check it. It's Guthrie gets up off the bottom of the pile. And Dallas Guthrie gets ahead for about 4 yards, 2nd and 6.
Carlson and Stevens.
Right now, the
make tackle.
Giants having the most success on that left side of the line. Dan O'Connell and Mark Chevalier are the guard and the tackler. And of course, Nate Miller is in on every play since he's the center, so he has to do his job too.
Give this time to Anderson, and Anderson is across the 40. They'll mark it at the 42-yard line.
Steinhagen, Carlson, and
Third
Snyder
down
on the
and 3.
stop. Third down, 3.
This time Guthrie comes wide to the near side, Muehlhausen wide to the far side. Barrett will give to the first man through, Winters, and he storms across the 35-yard line, and he'll have first down yardage there.
Nice blocking by a Giant line as they push forward and surge about 5 yards, and Don Winters did a smart thing, just ducked in behind him. Those strong legs, got himself about a 5-yard gain and a first down for the Giants on a key third down play.
6 minutes remaining here, first quarter. As Barrett gives to Winters again, spins away from one man, gets across the 30-yard line, down to about the 28-yard line.
Again, a nice hole on the left side, open up by O'Connell and Chevalier and Nate Miller. Don Winter not only got to the hole quickly, but he did a good job getting 2 more yards on that one, Jim.
Muehlhausen splits out wide near side. In the slot is Guthrie. Now he goes in motion to the far side. Barrett gives to the first man through a nice hole and quickly through there, close to first down yardage, and a couple of flags flew down there, and it's going to be a face mask penalty, so that's going to come up big now.
Well, from the vicinity, it's either going to be a face mask, which is being indicated, or the other option, of course, would have been holding, but it looked like a face mask, like you said, and that's going to be a big play for the Giants because they get the first down, and now are going to get that was not the first down, excuse me, it was close to the first down. They got the first down, okay, and now they're going to have a 15-yard. Is that a 15-yarder? Looked like a short 15 yards. Unless it was a 10-yarder.
I think they have to go from the line of scrimmage.
Must be a 5-yard.
First down, Giants on the central 14.
Anyway, the Giants have first and 10, 14-yard line. Anderson goes in motion near side. Barrett starts out wide. He's going to be caught and dropped from behind. Number 9 coming through there for, it was Steinhagen, Al Steinhagen, in there, the first man to get him, and he was able to drop him down for the loss.
No man for a loss on the play.
Looked like Giants again trying to go outside. They were not successful going outside against
Second down, 14.
against Montgomery. They were much more successful going up the middle, Jim, so that kind of changes their options here with second down and 12.
Okay, they'll split Muehlhausen out wide to the near side. Keeps 2 backs in, and Barrett will keep it himself up right straight up the middle, gets back almost to the original line of scrimmage, got back the 4 yards that were lost on the previous play.
Tackled by Schneider.
So that will bring up third down and 10.
Third down, 10.
4:15 remain here, first quarter. Giants trail it 7-0. Guthrie will go in the slot near side. Barrett. Long count. Now Anderson comes in motion. Barrett rolls to his right, looks, has a man wide open. That's Dallas Guthrie, touchdown.
Beautifully conceived play as Dallas Guthrie goes in motion to the right side. Danny Barron drops back and Guthrie gets into the flat. Be mindful of the pro play. And Danny Barron, right on the numbers, hit Dallas Guthrie, and he goes unmolested into the end zone. And so the Giants now are going to get ready to kick their extra point. This is 2-on-2 football until they shift over. Steuven is going to kick this time. Barron's going to hold a snap by Winters. There's a placement. Looks good from here. No good. It's off to the left.
Kick is no good. Making the score, Norwood, Young America, 7.
Well, Jim, he must not have missed by much because it looked awful close from here, but it must have hooked at the end, hooked left. So here we go, Jim. with 3:53. I always got to get up and look. You don't give me the bad seat here. 3:53, the Giants close the gap 7-6 and show that, again, they're driving the ball as they did against Montgomery.
It'll be interesting to see here how the Giants do when they know they're going to play defense, and they'll be ready to play defense here as they will kick off to Central here in the first quarter. Last time the quick turnover and the pass really, I don't think the Giants got settled in, and I'm sure that some adjustments have been made on the sideline, and it'll be very interesting to see how they react to this.
Anderson to kick off.
Back deep to receive for
Stewie and Storms are deep.
Central. Stewie is one of the deep backs. Storms, number 45, is the other deep back.
Well, Jim, we want to mention a couple special team members. One of them, Mike Milam, has done a great job on special teams along with Corey Steuben, who was a starter. Eric Anderson is going to kick off.
We're all set to go. Eric, line drive, comes up short, bounces through, mishandled. It's picked up by Storms, number 45, and he's going to be knocked out of bounds inside the 30-yard line. So Central will take over from about the 28-yard line.
Well, Jim, one of the young sophomores, number 34, Jake Camps, on that special teams, did a nice job getting down there and put a lot of pressure on him. Did not make the tackle, but was there and aggressive on the play. And the Giants going to hold Norwood Young America in pretty good position right now as they're going to start from the 28-yard line.
Okay, Coles comes under center this time. Split backs. And he will give to the first back through, which is Storms, Dan Storms, and he is ahead for, looks like about 5 yards. Good, quick surge that time by Storms.
Zumach get on the stop.
We'll say it's a 4-yard gain, so it's 2nd and 6.
Second down, 6.
And this time they'll go from, well, Coles goes under center again. I thought then this time it's from the I formation. And he gives to the deep back, and he's out to, looking for a yard marker to about the 35-yard line. Be short of the first down by about 3.
Winters and Lotsky make the stop.
Nate Zumak got good penetration that time. Did not make the tackle, Jim, but allowed Muehlhausen, Zumak, or Muehlhausen. Who's the guy that made the tackle on that one? We didn't catch a number. We'll look for it.
Okay, again, they come from the I formation. The up back is Storms. And he'll give to the deep back, which is number Hagerness, and Hagerness is ahead for about 5 yards, and he has plenty for the first down. So Central, again, able to move that ball. They've come from the I formation, they've used split backs, and they've come from the shotgun. So they've used at least 3 different offensive formations. Again, Coles will go under center, split backs this time. And he will fade back. He's out by himself, gets a pass off to number 22, Hagerness, and we're going to have a clipping penalty or picking. There's a flag on the play, and I think that's maybe what you were talking about, Donnie, because that was the same play to this side.
Well, they call it clipping, but it's a pick play, definitely a pick play, and the way I understand it, that's offensive interference. And in the Gopher game, they called it 4 times on the Gophers. So I doubt very much there are differences in a high school and a college game, but I would guess that that's not one of them in a passing play. I did notice that time really a nice job being done by Ben Lingard. He's so steady as a junior. He really is the center fielder, as you would put it, the guy that's the last guy, got to make the big tackles, and he was there to make the big tackle again, Jim. If it wouldn't have been a clipping, he really saved a touchdown. And I've been watching him a lot, Jim, and he really plays position well. He uses that sideline well. He doesn't get faked out. Looks like Norwood's got pretty good speed, Jim.
17.
Don't think there's much doubt about that at the present time. Now Norwood will come from the I formation. Coles under center. Turns, gives to Holgerness, and he's hit and dropped behind the line, and in there to make the tackle was Nate Zumak. Nice penetration.
Now, Zubek's been quick in there before, and this time he did make the tackle, got some help, but it was basically Nate Zumak there to make the tackle and stop him for a loss. So we're going to have second down, approximately 18.
Second down, 17.
Giants really need to hold here, if nothing else, for their own confidence and to take a little wind out of Central. This time they come out with the split backs. Giants shift defensively. The give is to the Carlson coming around in, and he's got some open field. He's going to make the first down. He's going to be hit and dropped as he gets into Giant territory.
Once again, Lingard there to make the big tackle, but somebody on the left side got fooled. My guess the left end would be Mark Lasky, and then Don Winters, number 30, tried to catch him, didn't have the speed to catch him, and Lingard had to make the tackle. Got some help from Corey Steuben.
Now, that was really a slow developing play, as most reverses are, as the flow came and they gave it to Carlson, the end around. Again, they will go with split backs. And the give is to the first man through, Hoganus, and he gets across the 40-yard line to the 38.
O'Connell and Farrington on the stop.
Gain of 4 yards.
6.
Make it 2nd and 6. Clock winding down here, first quarter. 34 seconds remain. They'll get at least one more play off. This time again from the I. Coles. Again, Holgerness. And he gets to the 35-yard line, just shy of the 35-yard line. See where they place it. Well, now they place it right on the 35-yard line. That'll bring up third down and about 2. And that's good. Should be the last play of the first quarter. They're letting it wind down. It is first quarter.
Norwood Young America 7, Leesore Henderson 6.
Well, Jim, you just heard it. Mike Keenan, the voice of the Giants, announcing at the end of the quarter, Central leads the Giants 7-6. And one of the things hurting the Giants the most, I think, right now is the quickness, and maybe part of it's the Giants' own fault. They've got to contain those ends, and this is what happened in the St. Peter game. Leesure ends are getting overrun, and they're not turning the play in like they're supposed to. Hegren's got good speed apparently, and also the quarterback Coles has got good speed, and Giants are not at this point in the in position able to counteract that.
Seems to me that Central has always had some pretty good speed in their backfield, and what they seemed to lack before was any line play, but now they seem to have a veteran line, and they're getting some holes in there.
3.
Well, Jim, I always thought they had some of the better athletes around. They just didn't put it together. I remember that Gray that was such a speedster, and yet he couldn't do much.
Okay, all set to go again. Third down, 3 yards to go for the first down from the I formation. Coles under center. He will give to Hagerness, and Hagerness is down close to the 30-yard line. I believe from our point here, it looks like he does have the first down. They're going to call timeout as they mark it, and they will have a measurement. And we're in 4-down territory anyway, so it doesn't make much difference here.
O'Connell really the key on that one as he got the surge, but pretty good blocking on the part of the Indians. They're not the Indians anymore, are they? They're the Raiders. Now, I forgot that some of those names had to be changed, and we're going to make that mistake. At least I am. I know it looks like it's going to be a first down.
Short.
Well, now they're going to call it short by about 15 centimeters. Not 15 centimeters, 15 millimeters, I mean.
How is that in inches?
15 millimeters, well, 2.54 centimeters per inch. I'll let you calculate that. If not, we got Andy Miller for that.
Okay, we've got fourth and not very much. Again, from the I. Coles kept it from the end zone, and he'll keep it again. Gets stood up, but surges ahead, gets close to the 30-yard line. He had to move it, just barely had to move the ball.
Zumach, Kincaid, O'Connell in on the stop. First down.
It will be a first down. Just getting underway here, second quarter. Giants trail it 7-6. Central moving the ball. Have it 1st and 10. Just outside the 30-yard line. Coles takes the handoff, gives to Hagerins, and Hagerins spins across the line of scrimmage and gets ahead for about 3 yards.
Don't know if they heard us, Jim, but that time Matt Peterson did his job. They're right in, turned the play in, and made the tackle. A big key play, and that's what they're going to have to do. Both Peterson and Mark Lotsky have been sucked in, and with that speed that the Raiders have, they've gone around right in, so they're going to have to keep doing their job like they did.
This time they come out with split backs. Coles drops straight back, rolls out to his right, pitches out, and they call it a trap, and it was. So it goes as an incompleted pass. It'll bring up 3rd down and 7.
Well, Jim, I wasn't sure they're going to call it. The guy that was in position really was backpedaling, did not get a good look. But the guy in the backfield came over and helped him out, and it was trapped. Obviously, it's going to be 3rd down 8. We got to remember the Giants had him in a 3rd and 17 when they pulled out that 1st down. So a key player right here.
They will go from the I. And it's a reverse again, and he's hit and knocked down. Number 25 in there to make that play. That's Corey Steuven.
Corey Steuven didn't go for the trap at all. It's going to be a little misdirection trap play.
4th down.
Corey Steuven stayed home, made the tackle, 4th down 9. Now that's a sign of both good playing and good coaching, Jim, because you get sucked into it once, don't get sucked into it twice. And the Giants didn't. The teams tend to keep running the same plays in key situations.
Okay, this is definitely a passing situation, I would say, for the Raiders, as they will go from the shotgun this time. Good snap, drops back, looking down, got time, now a little pressure, throws long, way over everybody's head, almost out of bounds, and the Giants hold and will take over.
Well, Giants really had everything covered pretty well that time, Jim. He had to take a desperation throw and hope his deep end could make it on a post pattern, not a post pattern, but a corner pattern, excuse me, as he just cut for the end zone. But the Giants take over in pretty good field position. They're going to take over about 31-yard line, Jim, and here's where we need a good drive.
Right, they need to take control of this game right here and put the pressure back on Central. Right now, the pressure is on the Giants to move the ball because they're trailing. We've got 10 minutes, 2 seconds remaining here in the first half as Barrett sets his team with split backs. Barrett quickly gives to Winters, spins across. Good effort that time by Don Winters as he was able to surge ahead and spin for about 5 yards.
Don Winters did a great job, Jim. He carried 3 guys, 5 yards, and put the Giants pretty good position. Now they have only, I believe, passed that one time.
And that was for a touchdown. Again, the split back formation. Barrett will give to, that's Anderson, and Anderson gets ahead for a couple of yards and is stood right up. See where they mark his forward progress. About a 1 yard gain, so it'll be 3rd and 4.
3rd down 4.
Muehlhausen splits out wide far side. We're coming from the I formation this time. Little look like a mix-up now. It's Anderson, and Anderson plows his way across the 40-yard line, I believe. Depends on where they got the mark across. It's kind of hard to tell because the infield is skinned on that side, but it looks like he probably has enough for a 1st down.
He's within centimeters one way or the other. As he's right on, right past that line. That looks like it's going to be very, very close.
Tom Moriarty, Dan Driscoll, and Rick Dawn.
I would guess, Jim, if they don't make it, it's really decision time right there. Do you go for it, don't you? And it's moot right now because they made it. Really a nice leg drive by Eric Anderson. Got a 1st down, so we saw some nice running by Anderson and Winters in that series of plays right there, Jim.
Okay, this time Guthrie will come in the slot to the near side from split backs. Muehlhausen is split out. Now Guthrie goes in motion to the far side. And the give is to Winters.
Winters the ball carrier.
Looked like he got quite a bit more than he actually did on that. He got about 2 yards and got spun around.
Jimmy was sliding along that line, then he saw daylight and almost broke it a long way. Might set that line again, made some mistakes in the previous games. Kokoschky is on the right side with Kincaid, on the left side is Chevalier lining up with O'Connell, and of course the center is Nate Miller.
Give this time to number 44, that's Guthrie, breaks through a big hole, still on his feet, and he gets across the 50-yard line, and that's going to be more than enough for a first down. And boy, did that open up. A little counter off of that, I didn't really see it.
Well, again, we don't have benefit of replay, but my guess is he was in motion and countered. They looked like they're going left, countered with Guthrie coming back to the right position, and big hole in the right side of the line opened by Miller, Kokoschky, and Kincaid, and gave a first down.
Okay, Giants set again, 1st and 10, ball on about the 45-yard line. Winters comes in motion. Barrett rolls out near side, got a man open. Whoa, just about intercepted. And
intended for Muehlhausen, broken up by Olsen.
It looked like they were going to have a big gainer there, and I thought he was going to throw long, and
2nd down, 10.
he threw short.
Well, Muehlhausen had beaten his man, and I think he was expecting a lob pass, and I think Barron was expecting him to break back over the middle. At least Danny didn't get it far enough. However, it's 4-down territory, 2nd down, 10.
Same formation, Guthrie in the slot, and Barrett will give to the first man through, and that's usually Winters, and Winters
the ball carrier.
is across the 45-yard line down to
Tackle by Schlupp.
the 44. Gain of 3, 3rd and 7.
Well, Jim, the line from Central is supposed to average over 200 pounds, yet I feel the Giant line is basically blowing them out there most of the time.
Same offensive set this time, split backs. This time Anderson comes in motion to the near side. Barrett will roll to this side. Stops, sets up, dumps it over the middle. Beautiful pass to Dallas Guthrie. Boy, what a great job of reading what was going on.
Well, what the referee was trying to mark is was he passed the line of scrimmage, because Danny Barron came up like he was going to run, stopped, and was about a half-yard short, knew where he was. Dallas Guthrie wide open, so Guthrie another key play, and that's already the 3rd key play by Guthrie tonight, let alone the key plays he's made on defense.
Giants have it 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line, 25-yard line of Central. Guthrie in the slot to the far side. Barrett will stop, keep it himself, and he's going to get knocked down right at the line of scrimmage.
Schneider and Eisens make the tackle.
And that looked like that same quarterback keeper, and it looked like maybe Central has had about enough of that one.
2nd down, 11.
Second loss of 1, so it'll be 2nd and 11. 6:24 remain here in the first half. Giants trail at 7-6 on a drive right now. Again, Guthrie goes in the slot to the far side. Now Anderson goes in motion. Barrett will roll that way, throws short, got a man wide open and just over his head. Boy, they cleared it out nice.
Again, they had Eric Anderson in motion to block, and Dallas Guthrie again into the flat, wide open, and Barron just missed him. If he'd have hit him with that speed, I think Guthrie's gone, Jim, to the corner.
That stops the clock with 6:08 remain here in the first half.
Jim, might be a good time to go back to it, because I don't think Norwood is adjusted to it, and if they give them a little time, they might adjust to it. They might go to it right away.
3rd and 11, same offensive set, and Anderson will go in motion that same way. Barrett rolls that way, tucks it up, he's going to go himself, and gets down to the 23-yard line. It's going to be short of the first down, but it's going to be close enough that the Giants can go for it.
Well, Jim, not the same play, but the same look, as that is a roll right. Eric Anderson did not block that time, but went into the pass pattern himself. There were a couple guys open, but Danny Barrett decided to tuck it away and go upfield, and he's got a 4th down and 3.
Guthrie comes in a slot near side. Muehlhausen split out wide, split backs. Now Anderson goes in motion and near side. Barrett will roll this way. Gets past the first man, gets caught from behind, and in there to make the play. Carlson, Jared Carlson, in there to break it up and actually throw him for a loss. So Central holds and maintains the lead. 5:23 remaining in the first half.
Well, Jim, the Giants did not score, but on the other hand, they've gotten some yards back and moved the ball themselves a little bit. Now it's up to the defense to stop them, try and get the ball back in decent field position.
Central will come out with split backs. Coles under center. Drops straight back, now starts rolling, gets a pass off, and it's just over the hands of Hegrens.
Coverage on the play by Steuben.
That time, Jim, Matt Peterson did a nice job of turning his man in, and so he could not run and do that option play and tried to pass out in the flat. Nobody open as Giants had good coverage.
4:59 remain here in first half as the clock is stopped on the incompleted pass. 2nd and 10. They'll come out in the same offensive set with the split backs. Coles fakes the handoff, gives it to Hagernes, and that was the play that they had such good success with, and they stuffed it after about a 2-yard gain.
Winners in on the stop.
A lot of Giants in on that particular tackle as the clock runs. It will be third down.
9.
3rd and 9. And they will come, looks like from the I this time, from the I formation. Coles under center. And he will roll to the far side, being chased out there by Peterson. Cuts back, he's going to get hit from the blind side. He's knocked down at the 20-yard line, so the original line of scrimmage. Good defense that time in the backfield.
Anderson.
Well, number 131, Nate Zumock, and Kincaid, number 70, in on the tackle. But as far as I'm concerned, the play's made by Matt Peterson, the end, who doesn't let him go outside and does his job, keep him in. So again, nice play by Matt Peterson as he follows it up with 2 good plays in a row. And the Giants are going to get the ball back apparently in good field position.
Muehlhausen, Lingard, and Guthrie back to receive the punt. It will be Cole doing the punting for Central. Gets a good snap. Line drive, low kick, takes a bounce. It's picked up by Guthrie.
Guthrie with the ball.
Guthrie still on his feet as he gets down to the 35-yard line. He went down on one knee and was able to get back up and field the ball on the hop and then take off through a nice hole.
Well, the putt was low and rolling, and I think he was just going to field it, and then he thought, I can make some out of this, so he got up, and then he got ahead of steam, and he is a really aggressive player, Jim, as he went right into that line smack and gave the Giants good position here in the end of the second quarter with approximately 3:21 to go.
All set as a single back is kept in this time. That's Winner. In the slot is Guthrie. And Barrett will roll to the far side, has time, sets up, and it's picked off. Pass intended by Muehlhausen, and it was picked off by Hegernes. So Central gets it right back. As a matter of fact, they probably gained a little bit on that exchange.
Well, Jim, Danny Barrett couldn't have thrown it to a guy better. He just threw it to the wrong guy. It was right to Hegernes. And he didn't have to do much besides catch and then turn it upfield, so a good opportunity blown by the Giants.
2:55 remain here in the first half. Giants still trail at 7-6 as they'll come out this time with the split backs. Coles goes out wide, being chased to the far side, going to try to tuck it in, and Zumock is there to make first contact. And
calls the ball carrier.
Also there, I think, is Mark Lotsky. Lotsky shaken up a little bit.
Well, Jim, Zumock came from nowhere to make that tackle as Josh Kincaid was chasing him all the way. And right now we're going to have 51 check in for the Giants. And I'm going to pick that number up for you.
2nd down 9.
2nd and 9 for Central. They'll come out in the I formation. And Kohler will run it again. He breaks a tackle. Knocked out of bounds, and again, Ben Lingard making a tackle, saving tackle, and he got out of bounds with 2:05 remaining here in the half.
Number 51, that's Doug Kane, that's coming in end position. Now he's being replaced by Mark Lasky as he shakes off the injury. Danny Barrett, number 13, checking in for Don Winters at the linebacker position. So right now they're going to have to go with Barrett. Turek doesn't like to go with his quarterback on defense, but they've got to give Winters a rest at this point.
Looked like Coles was going to be stopped for no gain, and he just broke about 2 tackles there. 2 guys had him. They'll come from split backs this time. And he drops straight back to pass, looking downfield, dumps it off short, screen to Hegernes, and he is ahead for the first down across the 35 to about the 33-yard line.
Corey Steuven, the linebacker, came back to make that position. A well-designed play by the Raiders as Coles went to the left and then threw back into the green and found his receiver, give them a first down, and they're moving the ball, Jim, they're right now first down the 34-yard line.
They'll come from the shotgun this time. And the give is up the middle, and Hegernes is stopped by O'Connell as they didn't move at all. Gain of about 3 yards on the play, and a timeout is called by Norwood with 1:35 remaining in the half.
Well, Jim, you're going to have to give the time because I can't see it from where I'm at, but a big play by Dan O'Connell as he stacks it up, and then Danny Barrett there to help finish it off. Norwood's going to take a timeout. The Giants defense really has given up a lot of yards and given up a lot of big plays. We've seen Norwood come through a lot of times with 3rd down and long, Jim. And we're right now 2nd down and about 7.
Well, the Giants really defensively have been kind of back on their heels ever since that turnover in the first few minutes of the ball game, and they just really haven't gotten settled into anything, it doesn't appear. And that's what I thought maybe after they held Central the last time that they were going to go, and then they turn it over again right away, and the defense is right back out there. So they played a lot tonight.
Well, in high school ball, as soon as you make a big defensive play, usually the same guys are on offense, or most of them anyway. So I think that really what picked Norwood up. I'm going to call them Norwood, and I always will, I imagine, but pick up Central up. Big interception, and then they starting to move the ball. So it's really a must now for the Giants to try and go into halftime just down 7-6, and then regroup at the halftime. Tackling right now probably not as good as it could be. Lingard really coming up with some key tackles, and you don't like to see that when your safety's making the key play.
Okay, Central all set once again. It looks like they're going to operate out of the I formation. I think the last time on that last play that they really could have called a procedure penalty, as it looked to me like one of the guards jumped quite a bit before the ball was snapped. But we're all set to go again from the I. Coles drops straight back to pass. Got time, looks long, and it's over everybody's head. Incomplete. And Ben Lingard right there again, step for step.
Good call by the official. 44 trying to get the interference, and now he's going to get it, which is a joke. I think he's going to get unsportsmanlike conduct, Jim, because he really leaned into Lingard. Lingard had position, was playing the ball, and then he leaned into him and then started griping. I'm pretty sure that's going to be what it is, and that's really a stupid play on the part of number 44, Carlson. He really had no gripe to start with. Ball was way out overthrown, and he leaned back into Lingard. Lingard had the right for the ball, and a good call by the official, really. There's no point in taking lip from a person like that, Jim.
Unsportsmanlike conduct penalty.
Well, nobody else was complaining, and it wasn't even close, as you said, to be an interference of any kind, because the ball was uncatchable anyway. Even if the only thing that he would have got interference on is knocking him down, and that really puts him out of contention here with the minute 27. 3rd down, 20 yards to go. They'll go with split backs. And they're going to pass it again. Drops back. He's going to be hit and gets the pass away. Almost caught. And it goes in.